Got it.
Good evening, everybody. Good day or good morning, wherever this video meets you. I greet you with as much joy, peace, and happiness. And just because I've gotten to a pattern of starting off with some good breaths, I think it's just good for us to breathe and reset our minds, our heart, and our body. So we're just going to do that. So just take a few seconds with me. We're just going to take some deep breaths and inhale and exhale. One last time. I feel new already. I hope you feel new too. And as I would always say, and I always say, when we start, possibilities of every kind is available to you and I. I don't care who you are, where you are, what you're doing. You need to understand and you need to make it your truth that possibilities of every kind is available to you. And whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. It can be accomplished. It can be achieved. No matter what it is, it can be done. And so I want to greet you with that. I'm thrilled, as I am always thrilled when we have guests on, and just to be able to put out content and make a contribution in a world that is in rapid change, that's in massive change, that's in global change. There's so many things and events that are happening in our world today. And if we're not careful, and I do want us to be informed consumers and sober consumers, but if we're not careful with all of the reckless news that we see, we have the Russia-Ukraine thing going on, we still have some impacts of COVID and so much that's happening in the world. If you're not careful, then you can get intoxicated by all the stress, the anxiety, the fears, and the traumas that are happening. And I make not light of the real traumas that are surrounding people in different parts of the world. But I do want to send out the kind of signals and the kind of energy and the kind of, I want to make the kind of contribution that helps to offset and to counter some of the other stresses and anxieties that are going on in the world. And so that's what this platform is for. It's to have conversations that is going to create an opportunity for healing on another dimension, on another level, as well as shifting us into a place of optimization. And our guest today is doing so much in this world that shares my heartbeat and shares my impulse on making content and making the kinds of change in his local community, as well as just a larger community at large, for lack of a better word, that's making the kind of changes that's leading us into positive and healthy states. And we're going to get into more details to talk to our guest today, Mr. Zarafi. But before we do, I just want to make sure that please share this video. I'm asking you before, and I'm going to ask you in the middle again. I'm going to ask you at the end. Please share this video, because we're going to be brought into a space where we're hearing a variety of stories, a variety of inspirational projects that are happening consistently. And we're also going to hear some stories that may jeer us a bit. And I want that, because we need to be moved to make the kind of changes that are important to make, because shifts have already happened. And many of us at times are still kind of scrambling around, determining where do we fit in the shifts? Where do we fit in all the changes that are happening? Center yourself. We started off with a couple of deep breaths. That's part of your centering. Center yourself and know that everything is working for your good. Everything is working not just for your individual good, but it's working for a collective good. And it doesn't matter where you are, equip yourself with the kinds of attitudes and the kinds of states that are going to allow for you to create on another level. I've mentioned this before, and it's not my own. I've heard elders and and others mentioned this, but Albert Einstein said that you cannot address a problem at the same level that it was created. And ladies and gentlemen, there have been several problems that we've been seeing. We've been seeing several breakdowns in our communities, whether it be locally or whether it be globally. Several systems that are breaking down, and we're seeing several problems that really started centuries ago. And we're just now seeing the impacts of some of those breakdowns. But I encourage you, as many people have been encouraged before us, to take the time to center yourself and know there are higher solutions if we center ourselves and make ourselves available. And so I will go on and on and on, but this is not just about the Rod Show. This is about giving the opportunity to opportunities and opportunity to people such as my guest today. And so I would like my brother to firstly share with us who you are, and I want you to promote some of the material that you have before we really delve into everything, and then we'll take it from there. So if you can just share a little bit of who you are, introduce some of your product, and then we're going to go from there.
Okay. On my end here is around 2 a.m. So it's a good morning. Good morning to everybody. I hope you all are doing well. Just to clarify one thing, my birth name, Zarafi, is a nickname that's been there for a really long time. So people know me with Zarafi, but my name is Alex Zarafi. So just to make that clear out there. Who am I? I'm a songwriter. I'm a salesman. Importantly, I'm a salesman, and I'm passionate about alternative housing, and I'll explain all that. Music started for me back in high school. I didn't grow up liking, because there's a kids club in church and all that. So I didn't grow up liking music, being in front of people and all that. But then in high school, especially my senior years, I found myself, and one person that made me love music was Akon. When he came out, I think with Blame It On Me. This is early. I think his first album, I believe. There was something about his music that was just revealing to me, I guess, if I should say that. So I got into music partly because of Akon. I guess I saw someone that looks like me, a lot like me, making it out there in the US with great content in his music. So I don't know, somehow it stirred up something in me, and somehow I started writing music. The first song I wrote was Gold. I've not recorded. Okay, I recorded it one time, but it was very bad recording. So I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm kind of really embarrassed even sharing it. I don't have the song. I don't know where I can find it, but I did record it then. I didn't really like it because the output was terrible for me. It was not at the level I wanted it to be. But then I was very young. So, and also I'm just 30 years old. So don't mind all the gray hair and all that. I guess I carry a lot on my head that stressed me out and made some of my hair gray. So I'm just 30. And so yes, so with the music, I've recorded some songs that I'm kind of impressed with, but it's not at the level I want it to be. One is Where Are You? And the other one is Best I Ever Had. Best I Ever had over 31,000 downloads in 2011.
Nice.
And then the response was just overwhelming. It was on hawkshare.com, and the response was overwhelming. But then resources didn't allow me go deep into the music thing, so I wasn't able to go into music the way I really wanted to. But in that time, I've written, and I still write great music. I believe it's just the opportunity to record in a proper studio under a good production sound engineer that can bring out the music into how do I put it, if I should say commercial level or professional level music. I have great music. I write gospel and I write R&B mostly, and I know deep in my heart. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say, let us play a couple of
Sure.
sound bites of your music, and then give us
Sure.
some more of that good background that you're providing us. So let me share some of this with the
Okay.
audience, and then you can again reiterate where we can download some of this music and give us some more background. So give me one moment here.
Sure.
Let me know if you can hear it.
Not yet. I'm not hearing anything, at least not from my end.
I think I've had to mute it
Yeah.
because I got two devices that are playing.
Okay. Wondering where you go. I call your phone, I call your home. Where you at? Just come on home. Didn't mean to shout. I didn't mean to shout. I'm not hearing, I'm just following from the last bit I heard. Past and now I'm gone. Yes, of course I'm gone. What I know now is what I knew then. I swear we won't be here. I wanna be a man, be your man. Teach me how. I swear I'll learn. I do anything. I do anything. So I'll give you a background on this song.
Yeah, go ahead and give us a little background on it.
Okay. Back I was schooling in Ghana. Then I was doing a diploma program in Ghana because the reason I left for Ghana was because I didn't get admission into any university here in Nigeria. It's a big competition. If I before you get anything, okay, the Nigerian system, there's a lot of corruption everywhere I know, but then in Nigeria, before you are able to 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 get something, you have to give something. And sometimes even when you do give something, you're not guaranteed that thing you're after. So I didn't get admission in Nigeria. So an opportunity came for me to go over to a school in Ghana to do my tertiary learning, to start my tertiary learning. So I went. So when I was coming back, I was in the bus, and then somehow the I started humming this rhythm in my head. And then immediately one thing I do, anything that comes to mind, an idea or something, I just look for a pen and write it down. I didn't have any fancy phone then to be able to do all the that technology gives us now with smartphones and all that. I just quickly reached for a pen and then started writing the ideas that were coming to my head, and hence this song. The reason was because there's this girl, and there's still this girl that that's the reason behind this song. Her name is Remy Mamgin, and I've always liked her. I've always loved her. Okay, the first day I saw her, where I'm living now, we came here in 2003. I just went to high school, and 3 months later, my parents moved in here. So when I uh, when I came, we were about a year living in this community when the girl came with her parents and started living a few blocks down, maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes walk max to her own house. So we're playing football, okay, you guys call it soccer. We call it's football to us. So we're
And the
playing
rest of the
football.
world is football too. It's just
Yes,
the only
yes,
anomalies, I guess. We want to think
yes,
ourselves as anomalies. But go ahead, please.
yes. So we're playing sets, it's five-a-side. I don't know, you might not know this, what I'm talking about, but this five-a-side
Mm-mm.
is teams of five. You
Okay.
understand? So two teams play at a time. We give ourselves 10 minutes. When both no one scores between the two teams, is if there are two teams outside, for example, the two teams inside go out, and then the second team come into play, and the one that scores the other first, that team goes out. So and that team comes into play. So we're playing
Interesting.
sets. So my own set was outside because I play football a lot. I used to actually, and I'm left-footed and right-footed. I can play with both foot at a time. I, so my set was outside. So I saw this girl passing. I'd seen her brother because her mom and my dad were knew each other. So her brother came by the house to because her mom didn't want her son to just hang around with anybody in the area because you don't know people. So she wanted her son to hang out with my youngest brother. So I'd seen him around, but I've never seen his elder sister. So when my set was out, I saw them passing together. I was like, huh, that girl, that girl must be that boy's sister. And I just told my friends there, and they can testify to it today. I told them that girl will be my girlfriend one day. And I don't know,
Wow.
somehow, I think I was 14 then or so, or 13. I just there was this likeness that I just had with her. So I love her ever since. And I'm just revealing this to you. I didn't want to text you or anything. By God's grace, next month, I'm getting married to her.
Really?
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And I've seen
And
many pictures of you too.
yes, I will. I will send you all details and all that. God,
Yes,
things are
please
improving
do.
gradually. So back to the story. So when I just said that girl will be my girl one day, I don't know what made me say it, but I guess it's infinite intelligence just revealing what's mine to me. So I just said that, and then years later, we didn't start dating immediately. When I went to Ghana, we weren't together. So in my head, I was imagining that she's with me, but then she wasn't. So the inspiration for the song and the lyrics was when she's finally mine, I wouldn't want to be in that shoe saying where are you, because I don't want to mess up to the point that I'll have to. It's like just me telling myself when she's mine, I don't want to be in this position.
Yeah,
You
I
get.
got you. I
So
got
so that's the message behind the song. It's not that this was a personal experience or something. It was
you. Yeah,
just me telling myself I will not be in this situation where I have to come saying where are you, because I've
yeah.
lost you for some careless recklessness or something. So it's just me reminding myself about that. So that's that about the that particular song. Best I ever
Was
had.
that, let me
Yeah.
pause there because I have to say a few things. And one of those things, man, I think the audience members will know the depth that you
Mm,
bring to the kind of work that you do, whether it's music or whether it's anything else. But I am going to pause you for a slight bit because I think it would be appropriate at this time for you
mm,
to share with the audience just where are you from, uh,
okay.
just share with us some of your journey. Unpack some of your journey with us. That was a very special moment for you to share with us regarding
Mm,
this, your soon to be wife. I think that's dynamic.
yes.
Take us
Yeah.
back a little further. Tell us a bit of your location, um, kind of what was your upbringing like? What was your neighborhood like? Give us some of the visual parts
Okay.
of who Zara or Mr. Alex is.
Okay. Um, I'm Nigerian. I was born, and part of my life I've lived over here in Nigeria. I'm the first of three boys, and thank God my parents are still alive. And I'm from Jos Plateau State. I'm from Plateau State, Nigeria. And it is in central Nigeria. It's on a plateau. It's on a hill, so that's why we're called Plateau State. And I'm Mogavul by tribe. I don't know if you can pronounce that. It's
No city.
MWA. I am Mogavul by tribe. It's MWAGAVUL.
Mm.
MWAGAVUL.
Let me give
Mogavul.
it a try. Say it again.
Mogavul.
Mugaboo.
You're pretty close.
Okay.
You're, you're
Keep
pretty
working with it.
close.
We'll get it.
Yeah,
But continue.
yeah. So I'm Mogavul by tribe, and
What does that mean?
um,
That you're Mugaboo by tribe.
okay, I'm a Mogavul person from Mangu local government. So in my own state alone, we have over 50 different ethnic groups.
Mm.
In my state alone, Nigeria has over 700.
Wow.
So yeah, and in my state we have over over 50.
So
So and in my
I'm,
state, yeah,
give me one moment, Zara. What I'm going to do is I know you may take it for granted because this is your upbringing. But
yeah,
to many of us on this side who's very
mhm,
disconnected from that part of our heritage,
yeah,
um, don't understand what it means to come out of certain clans, tribes, don't
yeah,
understand what it means to literally grow up on one side of town and right across the street, you have a whole different tribe with a completely different dialect and language. So can
Sure.
you, at some point in this first part, just kind of unpack that as well and tell us a bit about how that is and how does that work?
Okay. Nigeria is made up of different states. We have 36, and then the capital makes it 37. So each state has is made up of different people. For example, my own state, Plateau State, we have 17 local governments, right?
Wow.
And then in those 17 local governments, there are maybe different tribes in a particular local government. Like in my own local government, which is Mangu local government, we have, I know, more than 4 different ethnic groups and
Wow.
languages. So there's Mogabo, there's Fiem, there's Jipal. No, not no, there's Chakfem, and there's another as well. And so it's however, Mogabo people are the predominant tribe in Mangu local government. So I'm like a majority tribe in my local government.
Gotcha.
You understand? And then in my own state, Plateau State, I think we're the third largest ethnic group, I believe. I'm not certain, but I believe, because there are others like the Birom, the Jarawa, and Aguta. So it's all different languages, and we all speak different languages. You understand?
Wow.
When a Jarawa person is talking, I would not know what he's saying at all. But we have a common language, which is Hausa, which almost everybody knows how to speak Hausa. So that's our common language, and English.
So that's what we would say the lingua franca would be.
The lingua franca is Hausa and English.
Okay.
Yes, the
Okay.
lingua franca is Hausa and English. However, there's a local government after my local government, which is Pangshin local government. There's a particular tribe, Mupun. The meaning of Mupun is we came out of. So they actually came out of our own tribe. There's a lot of similarities in our language, in the words, we understand each other. You understand, the Mogabo people and the Mupun people, we're actually one people, you can say that. But the meaning of their own language, Mupun, is like they came out of us. So that's how their own name came about.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
Over centuries, I believe, of social life and migration and all that came with that. So
how old is your tribe? Do you know?
man, I don't know.
That
Maybe
old, huh?
yeah, I don't know. You see history, African history is not written by. Like the story is not told by Africans in most of the cases. You understand?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
many times we are so short about our history and where we're from and our civilization and all that. But our language is generations, centuries, I believe.
Yeah.
Centuries.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so
So
yeah,
tell me, so with all that information, and thank you for sharing that. And
yeah.
the reason why I'm able to understand a fraction of how all of that works is
Mm,
when I moved to China and I
mm-hmm,
started to understand the local differences from the
yeah.
majority and all of the different
Mm-hmm,
ethnic groups.
mm-hmm.
There's a term I'm sure you may be familiar with, homogenous. And a lot of
Yeah, I
times in the
get you.
States, we're
Mm-hmm,
taught that, the variety of countries in the continent of Africa is pretty much homogenous, and that,
mm,
countries like China are a
mm,
homogenous group, when in
mm-hmm.
fact, the
Yeah,
same way
no,
that in the States, as we count as varieties of ethnic groups, they have several
sure.
different as well. And then, of
Mm,
course, in the local communities, just like yours,
mm-hmm,
there's I lived in a city called Wuxi, which they
mm,
had their own local language in comparison to the
mm,
Mandarin language that is taught for the majority. That's their lingua franca. And so I
mm-hmm.
was very set back and taken back, I guess, if you will, of how someone could literally be living across the street from you and you don't understand them because they
That is
speak their
very true.
local language. And so
True.
that gave me more insight about perhaps how it works in your
Sure.
community.
And when you go to the villages, for example, there are people that don't know how to speak that Hausa language. That's a lingua franca. So
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you go and meet them, they will only answer you in their language. And
yeah.
even in town here, because I live in Jos town, the capital, right? There are certain places you go, like, because okay, the capital is predominantly Birom. It's a Birom, uh, 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 like this is their own village, but because the capital is developed and all that, so when there are many people still in the city here where they don't even know the lingua franca. So when you go to their own local areas where they are living, they will meet, when you meet them, they will greet you in their language. If you don't understand, well,
That's just what it is.
you don't, it is what it is. You understand? So that is,
Yeah,
that is it. However, most people understand the Hausa language. English, some majority do, but then the lingua franca, the common one is the Hausa language, because our state is there are a lot of, it's not just Plateau State that are living here. There are a lot of people from across Nigeria are living here as well. There are a lot of Chinese here as well, because we have mining. You
for
understand?
sure. For
So
sure.
a lot of them in deep in the villages just doing mining, or a lot of them illegal even. So there are a lot of foreigners here as well, because the slogan for our city is the home of peace and tourism. So although the tourism is no longer there, but the potential is there, because the poor management and lack of a vision for
Sure.
tourism and its potential. So it's the tourism is really lagging behind. And
Well, I can't wait to come, man. When as the stuff clears up, I am
yeah,
there. So you count me. I'll be there.
I hope you can make it April 30th, because that's when the wedding will be April 30th. So I guess
Oh,
this
you know what? Even if I
what
wanted to, I have another wedding around that same time. So even if I
uh
wanted to be there, I,
yeah,
I've been promising that I would go to this wedding for the past 2 years.
no
So
worries.
if, but,
Yeah,
trust me, I will be, if not in this next year or two
okay.
years, I will
Mm,
be there to meet with you and do my travels in Africa. Because
no
before
worries.
COVID, I'd already had
Yeah, you
plans,
told me that.
deposit, and everything set up. So it's only a
Yeah.
matter of time. I will be there and will be
Mm,
establishing
no
good
worries.
further relationships.
I'll take you everywhere in Plateau State, so you get
I
to
look forward
see.
to it.
Maybe then you get to connect with, maybe find some connection here that you
Oh,
don't
I
have over
will.
there. Yeah,
I will definitely do that. So,
yeah.
okay, so tell me, okay, with all of these different um, diversities and these
Hmm.
different varieties in your growing up, take me to your growing up, your home, as a child. What was it
Mm.
like growing up as little Zara or little Alex? What was that like?
Huh. Okay. Being the first child, my dad is a police officer. My mom is
Mm,
yes, my mom is a nurse,
wow.
a community health extension worker. So they are pretty busy people. So I grew up very fast, because I had to take responsibility early. I started cooking when I was 7 for
Wow.
the entire house. So sometimes my mom is on a night shift, my dad is on a night shift. So I'm left alone with my two younger brothers in the house. So I have to take care of them. And then when we wake up in the morning, I have to get everybody dressed, get myself dressed, prepare breakfast, and then walk my brothers to school, because from my house to school is like maybe 3 kilometers or so. I can't estimate it exactly, but then we have to walk them to school, walk together to school, and then walk back home together. So I I I was saddled with a lot of responsibility when I was younger. So I guess kind of, okay, my in Africa here, especially with house of culture, um when the first child, they usually call you Babangida, which means father of the house. You understand?
Mm,
So I was kind of saddled with that name,
yeah,
Babangida. You understand? Because of the I'm the first, and what I have to do to make up for when my parents are not around and all that.
sure, sure.
So, and growing up in Nigeria, I don't I've never gotten a toy. We made our toys. Oh, let me tell you, there's this tin of milk, right? This small tin of milk. I don't know how many grams. I don't know, because I don't know how to measure in these grams and all that.
That's okay.
So our toy cars, because then we can't afford it, because our parents are just lower income people. So what we did, we always created our own toys. So there's the tin of milk. We cut it from the cylinder from one edge, and then when we get that little flap, and then cut it, and then it becomes like, for example, like, it's rounded, right? So
Mhm.
when you cut the edge of from the other end and the other end, so you have and then cut in the middle, you have a flat surface like this. So we bend the steel into a shape of a car, and then there's a way we hammer it down with nails. So maybe you can use three, what is it called? three tin of milk to
Sure.
form a car out of it. You understand? And then we get water bottles, the cap for water bottles. That's what we make the tires with and all that. So we've always found a way to create our own fun
Nice.
and all that. I've never owned a gaming console, never. And that's why maybe
Wow.
that's why I don't have an interest in games and all that. I prefer to go out and actually play that game that I want to play rather than
Yeah.
sit down behind some screen or all that. So I had an active childhood, if I should say that. When we didn't have that, okay, because some of these things are seasonal. Okay, there's a season we do, or we make cars out of tin of milk. There's a season where, especially the rainy season, when
Mhm.
it starts to rain, we get old tires, and then we put there's this slimy leaf in it, and then we put sticks inside, and then drive them like a lot of local cars or something. And there's this thing we call boris. There's this thing we call boris. Then we get a slab of wood and get I don't know what they call it, but it's in house I know as boris. We attach it like tires at the back, and then put
Okay.
a big one in front, and then we have a barbed wire. We bend it to form like kind of a steering, like that, but like for a bike, and then someone pushes you from the back, and you control it with your hands. So
Wow.
that was like our kind of toys and all that.
Wow.
So we built ant houses. And okay, let me tell you this story. There's this friend of mine whose parents were doing much better than mine. So he had a bicycle then. But then when there's a certain way when you grow under with certain privileges, and then when you see others with much less than you have, and then you're fascinated about what they have. And then also we are fascinated, man, he has a bike. So in front of my house then in Federal, where we're living in Federal because a housing estate. Then there's this ant house we built. I built with my younger brother. So the friend of mine that had the bicycle, he didn't know how to do all this because they weren't allowed much liberties to create their own fun. Everything was
Sure.
just bought and handed over to them. So he came by. My very good friend. We were in the same school and the same class with him, and we lived just a few blocks from each other. He came by one day. I was like, man, I want this ant house. I was like, what will I get in return for it? He's like, you can ride my bicycle whenever you want. But guess what? The ant house is in front of my own house, and his house is like maybe 4 houses away. You
Uh,
understand? So I can get to take his bicycle for hours, and he just go and play in front of my own uh, ant house. You understand?
so
So
this started the entrepreneur in you, huh?
I guess
Yeah.
so because we always had to find our own way.
Yeah.
Nothing will just be handed over to you. You just have to find your own way somehow, and somehow we did, and somehow there's fulfillment in it. There's
Yeah.
somehow and contentment as well. We know we don't have that much, but then we found our way to create our own fun and have people that have much more than we do. Even if I should say envy what we have, and they want to be a part of what we have, so that we can get a little of what
Wow.
they have. You understand?
And
So
let me, if I can, I want to segue here because I think it's important that I bring this out of you and I's history. One of the things that impressed me most, and I didn't get a chance to really set this up as well as I wanted to, but here's the appropriate juncture to say
mm,
that Zara and I's timeline go back, I guess now almost 6 years. It's crazy to even think that it's been about 5 or 6
yeah,
years since
about 5 or 6 years.
2016,
Yeah,
2016, 17, 18,
I
19,
think
21.
yeah, we'll get to that story and I'll narrate.
Oh,
Well, when we
okay.
get
Well,
there, when we
I
get
won't
there.
spoil that. I'll just say that
Okay.
since I've known Zara,
Mm,
he's out from the gate when he applied. I used to work for a online university called Ubiquity University,
mm,
and Zara just so happened to be one of my students
mm,
that I helped to manage, get enrolled in classes and whatnot. And my role, the title was course facilitator. And so
mm,
the courses were already developed, but I would help facilitate students along their journey throughout those classes. And he was just one of those students. The moment that he submitted his draft, you could tell that his application, you could tell that he was one of those students who had drive. And so now to hear this history
mm.
about your growing up, it just makes that much more sense of where that
Ah, I see.
drive and that ambition came from. So
I see.
uh, let's do this. Hold the story. I want to share one more song, and then I want
Okay.
to perhaps go to one of your books, and I want you to
Okay.
start talking to us about where these other creative parts of you started to emerge. So give me
Okay.
one moment. I'm going to play another part of your song, and then you can
Okay.
share with us a little bit more. How about that?
I will. I will.
Okay, one moment. I'm going to put
Go
you
ahead.
on mute for a bit on one of my
No
devices, and
worries.
then we'll go from there.
No
Okay.
worries. No worries. Like as I first time, I really got it window, wondering where you are. I called the phone, called you home, where you at? Just come home, didn't make a shout, I didn't make a sound. Oh, baby, come back to me. Time flies fast and now I know. Yes, of course I know. But what I know now is what I knew then. I swear we won't be here. I wanna be your man, be your man. Teach me how. I swear I'll and I do anything. You had your times and I had mine. Right.
All right. Tell us a bit about that.
Okay. Okay. The song was it's how do I put it? It's just me reminding myself not to be in that situation when I have the girl I of my dreams. The song is about this girl that I will marry very soon. Who I've, I met the first time was in 2005, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the first time I saw her, I just liked her. We were playing football outside, and then we're playing sets, football sets of five each. So we call it five-a-side here in Nigeria. So my own set was outside. So as we were laying on the grass there outside playing, and we're playing barefoot, mind you, we play our football barefoot. When you have a shoe, of course you can go ahead. But then
We
we're
call
playing
that
barefoot.
country where I'm from.
So we were playing barefoot, and we're laying in the grass. Then when I saw her passing, and somehow I just uttered the words, "She'll be mine one day. That girl will be my girlfriend one day." And I guess God, in His infinite intelligence, was just telling me, or just showing me, or revealing to me, if I should say, what He's about to hand over to me. Because this same girl I'm talking about, I'm getting married to her next month by God's grace. We've been
Nice.
together now. We've been together now 10 years. This is the 10th year we've been together. Uh,
Wow.
we
God
started
bless you,
dating.
man.
We started dating officially December 26, 2012.
Wow.
That's when we were official with her, but I've been friends with her for about 17 years, I believe. I've known her for
Wow.
like 17 years. So most of my life. Yeah. So
That's
about the song, I was coming back from Ghana then because I didn't get admission here in Nigeria because to get into tertiary institution here in Nigeria is a challenge. Even
so.
when you have
Give me one
yeah.
moment. I didn't play the same song, did I? I played two different ones, right?
No, it was the same song.
Oh gosh. Okay. Hold on. My purpose was to play one of your
A
different
different.
songs. So
Okay.
give me one moment.
Okay. Okay.
I was like, the story sure sound familiar, man. Hold on. Okay,
Okay.
hold on.
You have to play a
Okay,
different one then.
I'm
And
gonna play a different.
I know what you're I guess I'm thinking which one you want to play. I
Well, you're
think
gonna
it's
have
that
to see.
okay. Okay.
Let's see. Well, let me mute it for one moment.
No worries. Go ahead. Okay, I'm mute now, I believe, right?
Walking down the ocean, I can see past the horizon. Water everywhere is all that I can see. From the north and south is endless, to the east and west, oh yeah. Water everywhere is all that I could see. Is this how big you are? Is this how large you are? Is this how wonderful, how great you love me? Bigger than all the world is, bigger than all my worries. Your love is greater, it's bigger than me. How big you are, is this how large you are? Is this how wonderful, how great you love me? Bigger than all the world, bigger than all my worries. Your love is greater, it's bigger than me. Walking down the ocean, I can see past the horizon.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear
There
you.
we go. Okay, I can
Yeah.
hear you now. Okay,
So,
yeah. So yes, I want to get the other side of your music genre. So tell us a bit
okay.
about that song.
Okay, I was living in Ghana then. I went to Ghana 2011. I lived in Ghana for 2 years. Like I mentioned earlier, it's hard to get admission in Nigeria, even when you're qualified, because corruption has eaten deep into the system to the point that even qualified people, to deserving people, to for certain things, I get denied because others who might be deserving as well, but then have the means to buy their way into university and all that, get into those positions and places where others want to be as well. So I didn't get admission in Nigeria. Total all the universities I applied for. I guess it was just God's way of making it clear and plain to me that I don't want you to school here. I guess He wanted me to see something different. I guess He wanted me to see that there's more to me just being here. There's more to me living in Nigeria, coming from Nigeria. He needed me to have that experience outside of Nigeria. So the first place I left outside Nigeria, I went to Ghana. So that song, this my life has always been challenges. Okay, let me give a brief background and then come back to this. When I was born, I was very sick. I was sick. So I almost died. So there's a name my mom calls me. It's God Save. Literally, God Save. That's the name. You
Wow.
understand? So I almost died. So God kept me. So when I found myself in Ghana, then there was a lot of challenges still. Life is made up of challenges,
Yeah.
right? So in the course of living in Ghana, there was one time we went to the beach. I think it was for a friend's birthday or so. And it was my first time going to the beach because my own state is in the middle, it's in central Nigeria. It's a landlocked state. We have dams and all that, but I've never seen an ocean before.
Wow.
So when we went to the beach, it was Labadi Beach. I was just overwhelmed with the mass of water right in front of me. I was just overwhelmed. Man, yeah, I'm from a Christian family, and we do devotion in the morning every day. And then my mom, especially my mom, emphasizes about how God is great, how God is everything, and all that. Just being in front of that by the beach with my sands in my feet in the sand, man, I was just trying to put God on a scale, and
Wow.
I was like, God is so there's something like this, and this is my first time seeing it. So I was just blown away by God's greatness in just the ocean there. The Atlantic was my first experience at such a mass of water that, man, somehow the words just came to my mind. Walking by the ocean, I can't see past the horizon because I couldn't. You understand? I tried to see if I could find the end, but I couldn't see it. So that was how the lyrics for that song came about. And I just told myself, with the challenges I was going through at that time, I was like, is this how big you are? Is this how great you are? Is this how wonderful, how great your love is? Because my mom always told me, God loves you. That no matter what you are in, no matter what situation you find yourself, that God loves you. So if God made everything, right? And this one, and they say God is greater than everything. So I was just in my own thinking, if your greatness is just as great as this ocean, then you must be really great.
Absolutely.
Because to me, man, it was just I was tongue-tied because I didn't know what words to express how great God is to me. Then it was just I had to just question it. Because the song is like a question to God. Is this how big you are? Is this how large you are? Is this how wonderful and how great your love is? Because I know God loves me. And then so it was just an eye-opening moment for me. So and that was how I came about the lyrics for that song and eventually recorded it.
And I have to say that what was so interesting about that song, well, firstly, you wrote it back in 2000 when?
11, I believe. 2011.
So 2011, so 10 years ago. And when you sent me the song, I was on my way to work, and I normally do my meditation in the morning. So listen to the song. It was just an extension of a certain concept that I was just bringing into my meditation time. And it was interesting for a couple of reasons, not just the lyrics, but because it sounded actually like country music, or what we would say country music here.
Yeah.
So to hear
Actually,
that twang of the guitar, I love guitar. That's one of my favorite instruments. So
I
hear
started
that
learning
twang of
in
the
2000.
guitar.
I started learning to play the guitar in 2006, but I'm still not good.
Oh man. So was that you playing on the song?
No, I am not that
Okay.
good.
Oh well,
I can play the major keys, but then all the other intricacies, no, I'm still not good.
well, hey, you and me both. I've been learning for quite some time and still have not. I can maybe play C, and that's
Okay.
it. But all that to say, man, I was really impressed by the quality of music, especially knowing that you had just started with music at such a what we would consider like a later age in life. You
I think
picked
I
it up.
started at, excuse me, I think the first song I wrote, I was 16, if
Wow, I
I'm
mean,
tricky.
it's young, but in terms of when I think about people who
I get
kind of
you.
pick up music, yeah, for
I get
sure.
you. Many
But
people
I thought,
have a much earlier background in music
sure,
and love for music than compared to me because I was, man, growing up in Africa, man, you don't have time for that music, man. You have
yeah,
to go to school because coming from a background that I'm coming from, over your lower income, you have to go to school so that you do better than your parents. That
sure.
is the notion. So any other thing is considered a distraction. So I think I got the love for music later, and I can tell you honestly, I've written amazing music in 10 years since I started writing music. I have some great music that, and I've recorded a lot of music, mostly gospel. So and I know I have content with music. It's just that I know one day, like I told you before, I started this. I want to start this label that I want to do my own music. I just put it
Yeah,
out there. So it's just the good studio to be able to, and a good coach, because music, you need coaching. someone that can be able to help you out, because by yourself you can do so much. So I believe with the right mentoring and the right team, if I should use that, the right team.
Yeah.
I don't mind writing for, so that people can, because I'm not that great at singing. I can write it, but I must admit I'm not that great at singing, because
Sure.
vocal control and all that. But I can work on that, I know. But I don't mind partnering with people. Let's just come, let's sing it. You know how Hillsong does their music. Like someone can write and then someone else sings it and all that, but then it comes out amazing. That's the kind of
Absolutely.
concept I want to, if I have the opportunity to, I would like to have out there. But I have people that are passionate about music, people that love good music, people that love good music, and people that can actually really sing. And let's just put music out there, because there's a lot of content. I have loads of songs in my room, and one day the world will hear it. The
One,
world will hear it.
well, with that being said, I want you to do two things. I want you to share with us a bit about Life Row, which is
Mhm,
your inspiration for your label. And then
mhm,
I want you to transition that with as much writing as you've done musically. You're an author. You're a 2 or 3 time author. So I want you to talk a bit about your label, and then I want you to begin to take us through what it's been like being an author.
Okay. When I started writing music, I was thinking of, well, maybe I hope one day I get a good deal with a good company that can be able to help me put the music out. But then none of that was forthcoming. So I just told myself, if I should start a music label, what would I call it? I like Tupac, I like Snoop Dogg, right? And there's his Death Row. And I don't know what inspiration made them have that name for that record label, Death Row. So, and I said that when I was analyzing things, I was like, man, Snoop Dogg is a multi-millionaire, and he's making great music. Tupac unfortunately died, but then his content of work speaks for itself, right? And they're under Death Row Records. I was like, I want mine to not project death, but life. So it was just me just turning the name the other way. I said, instead of Death Row, because I can't claim that, right?
Yeah,
Someone else
that's
owned
good.
it. So I wanted to be Life Row. I wanted that my music brings life. My
Yeah,
music creates life. My music uh, um, awakens. You know what I'm trying to explain to you.
absolutely.
Like it awakens something inside of you. It brings you to life. That's what I want all my music to be about, and that's what I want my label to be about. So that's how Life Will came about. And I started write. I do some level of writing, and the first one I wrote was Behind Castle Walls. That's a story of people like myself. It's just the book is about the pursuit of happiness, of how people get it wrong when it comes to happiness in this life, because there's a lot of uh, information out there that people use to 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 try to get to that point whereby they can be able to find some happiness. But just like I read this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I read this by George Clayson. It was one of the best books I've ever read in my life. And the book talked about money and how money can transform lives and even create happiness, if I should say that. But then my own book was uh, an extension of that pursuit of happiness. In fact, money is just one aspect of happiness. You understand? In the total, life is made up of different systems, just like our bodies, right? We have our personal lives, we have our health, we have our education, we have our social life, economic life. So all these systems, if I should say, all these systems are what make life what it truly is. If you have one lapse, if one system of your life is if one system of your life is not functioning optimally, your whole body, entire body suffers from it, right? So I wanted to bring a holistic approach to to the pursuit of happiness. It's not just focused on money and material things, but it goes deeper than that. It talks about relationships, it talks about parenting, it talks about personal life. Because in my opinion, the pursuit of happiness is made up of three basic things: your personal life, that it involves your finances, your health, and all that, your relationships, and then parenting. Because all of us will want to get to the point to a point whereby we become parents. So in the book, I talked about these three key things, which uh, are kind of, if I should say, pillars in general society, not just in Nigeria here, but across the world. It's like a shared uh, uh, background, if I should say, of what the pursuit of happiness is about. It's opening people's eyes to the wholeness of the pursuit of happiness, not just emphasizing on money. Money is good, making money is good, but then knowing how to live is good, is even better. If you know how to live with yourself and with others, and then with all the other variables that life brings to us, I guess it gives people a better solution, if I should say, on how to lead better lives. Because if you look at the pursuit of happiness in the world in general, they only speak to you when someone says he's successful, he's happy. You see the thing he's putting out there as proof is financial success or material success, right? But then true success is way more than that. You understand? It's not just having success in one area of your life and then or some area of your life is struggling. No, it's about having a balance.
Yes.
As much as your finances are doing well, your personal life is doing well as well. Your relationships are healthy. Your your social life is good as well. So it's just about, the book is about a balance, creating an honest balance in the pursuit of happiness, not just tilting the scale favoring financial success alone, because financial success is the only variable that, if I should say, that's tangible and you can count, right? So since numbers don't lie, as it's been said, many people tend to put most of their energies into financial success and allow other life systems of theirs to struggle. And the purpose of the book is to open people's eyes to the balance of life. That is what the book is about generally. It's a story about the people like myself. When you read the book, the setting of the book is my own tribe, my own village. You understand? So you hear a lot of local names, and but it's an interesting story. I believe. I know that, and all this I did it just by myself. You know, with limited resources that I at my disposal. I did the editing and all that. So it is what it is with the book. But then I believe the content will will make you overlook all the, maybe, if I say, unprofessionalism that comes with the book in its presentation and all that. The content will how will I put it? Will I say whitewash? No, it won't be the right word. Will
I think what you can look at is that the content, the message
the
of
message?
the book, yes,
Yes, the message of the book will
overshadow.
will
Uh-huh.
overshadow the unprofessionalism of the work, because it's just me doing the work I'm putting out there because it's self-published. So
And let me say this. Let me step in and say this. Two things. One, as you can see, I've had on the screen where you can
mhm,
purchase the book on Amazon.
mm,
It is up. It's live. You can go get it anywhere, anytime on
mm,
Amazon, and maybe some other places you can get it in his local community. But I want to say this, that um, the fact that you have had so many adversities and you've
mm,
had to manage with very limited resources, and you were still able to pioneer a book in English, it,
mm.
it's incredible and it's very notable. And so, irrespective of
Thank
any
you.
grammatical syntax or any other kind of
Mhm,
issues, I think that what you have been able to do as a first time author, and you released this book in 2017. You know,
yeah,
you look,
I
I
was
was
20
following your
something.
footsteps trying to get a book released. You know, you'd already released two or three of them by the time I released mine in November. But it's such a beautiful thing to see such a young person persevering through so much. You're delivering great content with your music, whether you started with very little, you progressed up, you've been able to make connections with other artists. Just the work that you've been able to do thus far, I think it's a huge contribution. The second thing
Thank
we're
you.
going to do is transition into a particular part of your storyline that I think it's important that we underscore because it deals with um, some of your more current projects you have coming up. Give me a moment so I can stop sharing, and then we're going to go from there. Okay.
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 Yeah.
So what I would like for you to do is I want you. You've talked about your book. Um, I want you to share with us what it was like writing that book while being confronted with so many other civil issues that are going on within your own community. Because when you and I met, you weren't in your home country. You were in Greece
I was living in Cyprus. I was living in
Cyprus. Okay.
Cyprus. Yes.
So tell us some of the projects. Well, firstly, let's take this back, take it a little slow. How was it writing this book in lieu of so many massive changes happening in your home country? Let's start there.
Okay. Like I said, growing up in Nigeria, whereby the focus is and just go to school. That's all you have to do. Just go to school, and which I was going to school. I was not the type to not value education. I always put a high premium on education. So whenever I got the opportunity, of course I went. So when I started writing the book, I was spending a lot of my time. Okay, I think I started writing the book in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So when I started writing on the table, I did a lot of my research because I started reading the entire Bible in 2012, I believe. The entire Bible every year. That's what I do. And the year I started, my thinking is like it unlocked my thinking. The Bible is just such an incredible book. It's not just a piece of book for. The Bible is inspiring. It just unlocked my thinking and took me to a different realm that more than I've ever been in my life, and it still is up to today. Now I'm reading the book. I think the ninth time, I believe.
Wow.
So it opened my mind to the issues of life and a lot of things. So when the idea of the book for the book came about, I just bought a journal or something. I started writing and then creating the story, and then started writing it down. My mom will come and say, "I'm wasting time doing this. I should be doing that and all that." You understand? So somehow I just tell her, "Don't worry, it's worthwhile work I'm doing." So when she needs me to do something, I have to keep writing aside, and then go and do what she wants me to do. It took me, I think, about 9 months to write the book, because every day I try to, when I get a new idea, I try to, sometimes I just write it on a piece of paper and then find a way to integrate that idea that's on that piece of paper into the book I'm writing. You understand? So it took me a whole process. But then, like I said, I was living in Ghana then, and then after I finished the diploma program in Ghana, I came back to Nigeria. Still, I couldn't get admission in any of the universities. So an opportunity came for me to go to Cyprus, and then the exchange rate was pretty cheap compared to what it is now. It was about 150 something naira to a dollar. So it was about 300 and something thousand to pay the tuition for me to go to Cyprus, because around the same or a little less than private universities here in Nigeria. So since getting into public university was such a challenge, and then the private university didn't even give me admission then. So the opportunity came. So my dad said, okay, then go ahead and try this, since it's within the range of what he could do at that time. So that was how I went to Cyprus and started living there. So it was then in Cyprus that I finally got to get the book to where it place I could publish it. I didn't know about self-publishing then. So I tried to talk to the school I was attending then, that was Eastern Mediterranean University, to see if they can help me publish it. I told them I have good content, but then I will need their help. But then, yeah, no, it didn't happen like that. So I did some research and then I realized, man, there's independent publishing, self-publishing. So I decided to do research on that, and then decided to put the book on Amazon. So that's how the book came about on Amazon.
Nice.
Generally. Yeah.
So speak to us, and again, man, that's commendable. Absolutely commendable. Speak to us about some of these current projects that you've been having. I know that while you were in school, you were doing projects for pastors, and
Yes.
you have the projects with the restaurant.
Yeah.
You got a few different projects that are going on, I think, that are just outstanding. How has maybe some of the stories from the book itself provided you a certain level of encouragement? I mean, to read through the Bible each year, I don't do that. You know, I've gone through the Bible. I pick up the stories, you know, from it. I've taken some theological classes and whatnot, but I think it's always commendable for someone to devote themselves to go through it every year, and to continue to gain knowledge from it. But just share with us, just from your book alone, or just from any other books, that you felt that it has provided you a certain encouragement as well as inspiration to create some of the projects that you're currently working on, specifically starting with the project of the pastors, and how did all of that come to be?
Okay. I'll give some. Okay. Let me go. When I was living in Cyprus, then coming from Nigeria, I was living in a much nicer house, right? Because it was a different country.
Yeah.
And I saw things were actually working in Cyprus. I saw a system whereby things actually work. Like their systems were functional, unlike ours here that is riddled with a lot of corruption and delays and all these obstacles that come with living and being in Nigeria. So when I went to Cyprus, then um, and like I said, I was living in a much nicer house than my parents were even living. I was living a much more decent life, right, than my parents were. So but back in Cyprus then, I was living in a place called East Legon. It was kind of like a very nice area because my school was around that place. So I saw a lot of beautiful houses there and all that. So somehow I just got interested in housing, in architecture generally. I just got interested in architecture, and then somehow I carried on with it. I don't know how I came about that, but then I was thinking about alternative housing because if you come to Nigeria, the all the houses kind of look the same roofing design. The architecture is old enough. You understand? So I was thinking to myself, man, when I went to Cyprus and I've seen all these nice houses, some by the beach, some in town and all that, I was like, man, I would really like to live in somewhere like this, something different. Like there's nothing wrong in deviating from the norm. So it piqued my interest to go on YouTube and start researching on alternative housing, alternative architectural designs and all that. So when I saw different, I realized that a cat may have 9 lives, but just means there are 9 ways you can kill it. I'm not cruel to animals though. I'm just a saying.
Sure, I got you.
So I just realized, I can achieve this same end, but using a different method.
Yes.
There's always an alternative. We're not just left helpless. There's always an alternative. So I did my research and I realized that you can achieve the same and even a better result from using when in housing, for example, with using an alternative method. It can be much cheaper. It can be much faster to build and all that. So it was around that time. Okay, when I went to Cyprus, after the first term, I went because I had my diploma in Ghana, right? So when I came and presented my diploma to the school, so that they just give me a top-up course and then get the bachelor's, right? Somehow the registrar refused. They wanted me to start afresh again. So I was like, man, I told myself, hell no. It was around that same year my youngest brother was going to the university. I was like, I can't just wait. I can't just allow my 2 years of diploma to just be a waste and then come on. I know where I'm coming from. My parents don't have that luxury of all that money to come and waste for me to start all over again. I should be considerate. So I told myself, if I have to find a different alternative for this schooling, I will. But then just so that I remain in the country in Cyprus, I then enrolled for the first year of the school. After that, I didn't have money to continue. So I was out of schooling for a while. So I did some research with my diploma. I realized that there's this school in the US, Ashworth College. It's in Norcross in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. So I did a research on them that they accept my diploma and to give me a top-up course to do a few other courses that will give me a bachelor's. So I sent my transcripts over to World Education Services. That's west.org, I believe. So I sent it, they evaluated my credentials and then sent the credentials to Ashworth College. So Ashworth College actually gave me admission.
Wow. Mm.
Ashworth College gave me admission because like I said, I needed an alternative. I didn't want to start afresh again because I didn't have the money to do that.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, I remember part of you telling the story years ago. Yeah.
So it was what I had to do. So I just had to drop out. So when I dropped out, and okay, so I had all this free time. I just had to find something to do to earn income. And I learned there was this guy, his name is Isa, he's a Burkinabe from Burkina Faso. He was the one with the connect to all the jobs on in Famagusta where we were living then. So someone gave me his number, I called him, I was like, man, I'm available to work. If there's any opportunity anywhere, just let me know. So he called me over to his house. There was this, they call it extra. You go, it was at a hotel, the hotel I told you I worked at, Noah's Ark Hotel. So that day he called me that if there's any opportunity, he would call me because I came late. So there were other people lined up before me. So I told him any moment, no matter the time, if there's work to do, I'll find it because I really need it. Because there was a time I didn't have a place to stay in Cyprus. So I had to just find my way somehow. So I was told I was desperate. You know, when you get to a point you're desperate, you can do anything. I thought any work, any job that is available to do, I will do it. So after I met with him, we introduced ourselves, and he explained the job to me and all that. He said, when the opportunity comes, you let me know. But to be extra for the moment, because in Cyprus, most of the jobs are hotel jobs, waiting, bartending, and all that, and construction too is there. But then the job, the connect I got was for waiting. So when he finally, after when I met him, I went back to where I was squatting because I met someone. I think, man, this is my situation now, and if I can just stay with you for a while, and then the person agreed. So I was staying with him for a while, but then to pay him back later. So I went back to where I was staying, and then when out of the blue, I got a call. He called me that there's job available now because the person that he called to for that job that came with me. He said he won't be able to make it now till that at that moment till maybe I think it was the next day or so. He called me that, can you do it? I was like, man, where should I go? So
always be ready, right?
I was just ready. So I went to he told me, go to this particular bus stop and wait because there's a bus that comes to take people that go to the hotel for work. I went to the bus stop. I missed the bus. I called the man. I was like, I missed the bus because they won't allow me in because I'm not a familiar face. He was like, don't worry, another bus is coming. So he called the driver and told him someone is coming to join. So I joined the other bus. I was going to the casino. So I went there to work, and I just learned how to do because you just learn right there. I didn't know, I've never done any waiting job in my life. So I learned when we came, they called a meeting and told, okay, this is how the job is done. This is how you hold the tray where you serve drinks on and take the dishes. They just explained to me. I was like, cool. Sharp. As soon as possible, I just got it. I walked like a horse that day. I was just putting my mind. I was like, man, I just hope someone notices what I'm doing. And then because I needed a permanent job. I needed a permanent job that I can be able to have get some income. My mother works in the local government. Sometimes they go months and then without salaries. You understand? So I knew the situation back home.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I just need something that I can do often. So the first day I went, we did it was just one day. So and they don't pay you immediately. They pay you about a week. And I was totally broke. Sometimes a pack of milk is what I use for 5 days a week.
Wow.
You understand? So
Mhm.
I was just surviving. I was just struggling to survive. So after about a week or a few days later, he called me again. He was like, "Can you come for work again?" I was like, "Yes." I can't remember what I was doing then. I had to stop what I was doing, and then ran away. Ran to the hotel to work again.
Hold on. Let me ask you something.
Yeah,
So is it common in your country that you get paid daily?
yeah. For menial labor, they pay daily in Nigeria,
Okay.
but then
Okay.
for there are jobs that it's mostly salary you get at the end of the month.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Continue.
So then when he called me, I went immediately and then did work. After my shift was over, I was going to the bus to get ready to get back home because the bus takes us back home.
Mhm.
So before I was about to leave, the supervisor called me and was like, man, uh, there's still more work to do. Can you stay and do yet another shift? I was like, cool. That's an opportunity to get some double pay. I stayed and did some the other shift. And then after the second shift, I was about going home. He met me again. Can you do another shift because we still need people to work? I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, I'll do it. So I did 24 hours straight
Wow.
work on my feet, 24 hours. I did 3 shifts straight. After the
Wow.
third shift, I was about to go. He met me again. Can you do another shift? I was like, I've done 24 hours. Can you just give me one break? Let me just get some rest and I'll come back. He was like, okay, I'll give you one shift, just rest for one shift. So I didn't go back home. I slept. I got some place at the hotel at the hotel where we changed our clothes and then rested for about 8 hours, and then came back for another shift again. So
Wow.
I didn't realize that the manager was taking note of what I was doing because I was trying to be as agile and with the work as possible. I was learning fast and doing the work as fast as possible so that I didn't know the manager was taking notice. So after the fourth shift, I did. And then they told me, can I stay for another shift? I was like, yes, I'll stay. So I stayed for another shift. So I spent about 2 days in the hotel. I didn't go back home.
Wow.
Because the longer I stayed, the more money I made. Because I needed the money.
Yeah.
I had rent, I needed food. And the reason why I decided to stay at the hotel because there was breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I decided to just stay. It was good. It was saving me money. I won't my what I get paid, I don't get to spend it on food to go buy food. So what I did was did some shift. Then after that, the manager called me because she's not good. She can't speak English very well. She
Mhm.
maybe you want to work? I was like yes. Then she called the supervisor and told him that she wants to permanent me to start working like full time with the hotel. And that was how things began to change a little. But the
Wow.
permanent job was summer, mostly summers. After summer, when it gets winter and it gets cold, tourists there are no more tourists and as much tourists as used to be during summer. So most of the job you just do part time. You understand?
Well,
So yeah,
I'm going to pause you for one moment because my phone is not fully charged, and I want to make sure that we're able to
okay,
get to some of the projects that you're working on. So I'm going to get you to fast forward a bit and tell
okay,
us how did that transition from Cyprus to where you were before. I think you were in Dubai for a little bit, but
yes,
you've been on this hustle.
yeah,
Um, Looking for employment, but at the same time, you've also been really focusing on building your local community, whether
yes,
you've been in the country or out of the country. Can you
yeah,
start to unpack some of the
sure,
motivation behind your first project, and then tell us a bit more about the restaurant, and then also this dashiki project
okay.
that you had as well?
Okay. I decided to adopt the alternative housing project for my master's impact project with Ubiquity University. So it went so well that I really liked what the project I came up with, and I decided I want to translate it into Nigeria here to help my people here. Because if even not for anybody, even for myself, if I can be able to build for about 40% less of the cost of traditional housing, it's a huge benefit to me. But then I realized the potential of creating a business out of it. You understand? So we approached my church, Evangelical Church Winning All, and I presented the proposal to them about what the alternative housing project with a friend of mine, Michael. He's the one actually on the song with me that greater than me. He was the one singing the second part. Is him. He's an architect.
Nice.
He's an architect. So they wanted us to create a prototype first, but then the resources to create that prototype is what we didn't have. That was how I started the Shiki project, the one you're wearing now, to try to raise money to see how we can, yes, to see how I can raise money that we can be able to, because we have land already, we have land on ground already. So we just needed capital that we're able to raise to be able to create that prototype house and then show it to Evangelical Church Winning All the church that this is what we can do and this is the cost and we can translate it because the time after I left Cyprus and went back to Nigeria, my pastor was just retiring then. He didn't have his own house and they were trying to tax members to contribute money so that they can be able to finish the house he started. You understand? And it didn't sit right with me. And the house they were building, the pastorium they were building for the pastor, then what they needed to complete that house, the house they've built it, they've roofed it, but they've not plastered it and then put windows and all that. The amount of money they needed to complete that house was more than enough capital for us to build a house from the ground up.
Wow.
You understand? Because
yeah,
of an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And the reason why I'm insisting on alternatives is because Ubiquity was the alternative I needed. Without Ubiquity University, I probably wouldn't have a degree today because of an alternative. So giving the people a different lifeline. Most of the times we focus on what is the obvious that we let slide, the alternative that can actually make a difference in our lives. And I have a degree today thanks to the alternative I got in online education and through Ubiquity University and through you. You understand? Absolutely. So that is basically the motivation behind the alternative housing project. Up to now, we're still finding a way to raise money, but then it is what it is. We're still finding our way. And
I want to stress something that I think is pretty admirable about what you were doing and what other students were doing through Ubiquity. As of course, part of the agenda of Ubiquity is to help students to create sustainable alternatives.
That is the key.
And using materials that are going to help support our communities, no matter where you are, not just our local community, but our global community altogether. As we do understand that there's a lot of carbon emissions and a lot of things that actually compromise our environment. And what happens in Nigeria has an impact in the United States as well as in Europe and South America and all around the world, as we clearly have seen how one virus that may have started in China have completely had an impact on our global community. And so it's very important for us to consider these kinds of things that you're doing in your projects, that you are putting in very intentional methods and strategies and resources that are sustainable. So I really wanted to highlight that and point that out for the audience of the very intentional kinds of work that you're doing. Okay.
And one more thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Al Jazeera did a documentary about the housing deficit in Nigeria. So to prove to you that what we do is a scalable, sustainable business, is because Nigeria has over 20 million housing deficit.
Wow.
And
say that again.
Nigeria has about 20 million housing deficit. And there's a huge gap in trying to fulfill that. There's not enough projects on hand to cover that deficit. You understand? And it gives people, entrepreneurs like me, an opportunity. The only thing is that we don't have capital to be able to get into that market. into the housing market and be able to offer an alternative product that can be scalable in a short period of time. We have I've written down a proposal. I think I've sent it to you as well, and Ms. Rosalind,
Yes.
about the proposal. I have a proposal out that we put on how we want, that details everything we want to do with the project. Because using our pastors alone, what we want to do is create a situation whereby every pastor or reverend before he retires can get to own his own house, and the house can eventually actually pay for itself with an initial investment as well. But then, sometimes even the church doesn't see the vision. You understand? I guess it's when we are able to put a prototype house down, and then further even look at the cost saving we have from this project, and look at how this house can be able to pay for itself. Because my church has its own microfinance bank, like offer loan facilities for housing project to pastors and all that. So the concept I have for them is that many of these pastors own their own land. They have land. They're just lying fallow. You understand? But then they don't have enough income to be able to develop that house. Let's take for example, the pastor starts work now and he has 35 years, right? So, and he goes to that is called Gowan's Bank. He goes to Gowan's Bank and gets a loan, for example, let's say 4 million to build his own house. And then Gowan's Bank gives us that money. And Gowan's Bank is it's Gowan's Bank that pays the pastor, because the Gowan's Bank is microfinance bank is owned by our church. You understand? So we reduce the cost of building for the pastor by the value of his land. Instead of buying a different land to go and build for him on, you understand? We build on his own land.
Wow.
Right? So it reduces that cost for the pastor outright. It reduces no cost for land because he has his own land, for example. And then when we build at about 40% less cost of building cost than traditional housing, right? And most of these pastors don't live in their own houses. Wherever a pastor is transferred to, the church has a house for the pastor already. You understand?
Yeah.
So the concept is this: when the pastor and they get transferred after maybe 5 years, they get transferred to different places, and everywhere they go, the church provides them a house, right? And many of them retire without their own houses. So what I want to do is when we partner with the bank and the church and its bank, and they give us that loan, we build the house for the pastor. So in the years of the pastor's service, right, we put the house on rent for the pastor. And let's say, for example, the house generates 300,000 in a year. So it means in about 12 years, the house can pay for itself with the rent it gets from the house. And then the rent doesn't go to the pastor, it goes into paying the loan the pastor takes from the bank to build the house. Nice. You get. So after 12 years, for example, right, whatever money that the house generates after the loan is being paid, because part of the pastor's salary, a little part of it can be deducted from his salary to offset the loan. So technically, in less than 12 years, in fact, maybe around 10 years or so, the entire house can be paid for. So the remaining 25 years of service, that's talking about a young pastor that is just starting out, right? The remaining 25 years, whatever the house generates, goes into a fixed deposit account for the pastor, so that after he retires with his own house and enough capital to go into some sort of business. You understand? Because most of them retire broke. Yeah. Most of them retire broke. I want to create a system whereby all of them get to have some certain level of financial freedom. Many of them are carried away by God's work, that they fail to realize that part of God's work is taking care of yourself as well.
That's right. That's right.
So that's right. That's what I want to introduce into the church. And I'll just I'm still looking for capital to be able to do that. And by God's grace, I know somehow I've given proposals out there. And there's this proposal I sent to UNDP, United Nations Development Fund, through a friend I met recently that works there. She called me about 6 weeks ago or so, or 4 weeks. She told me that she has submitted the proposal, and then let's wait and see what happens. That they've been sent it because it's sent to the US, to the headquarters of UNDP, if I'm not mistaken. So I said, I just told her, I leave everything in God's hands, because my life from the very beginning it's been God that's kept me all this while. And I know that He didn't put these ideas in my head just for me to keep me busy. No, He put these ideas in my head because He wants me to be of help to people. I know it's a business to me. I will eventually make profit from it, but the ultimate goal is to actually help people in such a way that I can transform their lives. Not just give them, offer them a house to live, but offer them a
And
life.
and I want to
Yeah.
pause you right quick because I need to be a big brother. And I need to be a voice to some of the things that you're sharing, and I want to reiterate for those who are going to watch this and those who will have an opportunity to add this to Zara's portfolio, is that I can attest to the work that Zara has put in since meeting him, since 2016, since August of 2016, I believe, maybe September. But I've
Yeah.
been able to see him be consistent with what he's done over these years. And he's continued to build. And it's never been about himself. It's never just been about how he can just get his music out, how he can just get his book out, his books on sale. Everything that he has done has always, the Dashiki Project, everything that he's done has always been about how he can raise funds to help his community or to help others. And as I've shared with him in our private conversations, though we don't get an opportunity to talk as often, when we do get a chance to speak, what I enjoy about our conversations is that he's always consistent and he's always staying on the grind. And one of the things I do know as a human being is that rest time is very critical. And you can't always be in hustle and bustle. Although there are times and there are cycles that we are constantly giving more than we ever thought that we can give, and that is necessary. And I do believe that God's spirit, the universe, will respond to what we give out, especially whenever we are making efforts and intentions to expand the health and the well-being of our local and global community. And that's what this young man is doing. And I'm extremely excited about him. And this is not it, but I felt it, the need, and I felt compelled to interject in this moment to reiterate and reverberate some of the things that he's doing. If you are looking to support or to sponsor or to donate, we're going to have the information up, locations where you can go to do just that, to donate, to sponsor, whatever it is that you feel compelled to do. We're going to have that information available so that you can do that at minimum. Go ahead, I'm
One
sorry.
more thing, sorry.
Yes.
About the housing project as well, I realized that there are a lot of Americans and people, Africans not living in Africa, not based in Africa. A lot of people are coming back to Africa. This can be a huge business to whoever wants to come into partnership. I'm open to that. There are a lot of people that are coming from America who want the type of architecture they are used to over there in the US, modern architecture. And man, I'm just saying the opportunity is huge. The opportunity is huge, and the capital we need to do this to start the housing project is not some crazy amount of that we need for that. With less than $10,000, we can start.
Wow.
With less than $10,000, we can start, because alternative housing, the potential is huge, because with the approach we are coming with and with the angle we want to position ourselves in the real estate market, right, it's one that gives us an advantage already. And our building method upholds building standards and quality. And then after that, our perceived value for the house will be even more than traditional houses, because of the architecture and then the construction generally in itself. So that's what I just wanted to add.
No, I'm glad that you did. Besides the architectural component, what are some other opportunities that, let's say, if, as we've seen, not just Africans who are from Africa or Nigeria or these parts of where it turned to Africa, but there's also a huge movement for African Americans who are taking interest in moving to Africa as well, or want to strengthen their partnerships, like myself, strengthen their partnerships in Africa. In various parts. Can you share what are the opportunities for people like that or like us?
Farming is one. Farming is huge business.
Plumbing.
Farming.
Okay.
Farming is huge business
Okay.
here, and there's mining as well if you have the capacity for mining. Mining is huge, especially in my state here. We are like I said, we are a plateau state. We're on a hill, so there's a lot of tin, there's a lot of columbite, there's a lot of some other not precious metals here on the plateau as well. That not even 1/100th of it has been exploited yet. You understand? So
Sure.
whoever wants to, I know there's money in America. True, I know there's money,
Sure.
but in Nigeria, with the right capital, you can be able to make a whole. What you can be able to make out of Africa, man, is just huge. No wonder you see a lot of. There's a lot of Chinese here. There's a lot of Asians here. You meet some Americans here too as well. Some of them are missionaries and all that. There are a lot of people that the opportunities here are just there's more than enough opportunities. It is that we don't have enough people who are entrepreneurial to be able to want to even come here because they don't know. For example, people don't just want to come and then move someplace and then sink into a lot of money. They don't know anybody. They don't have a footing in that locality. You understand? Which I understand. But then I believe when you meet the right people, they can help you set up good business, and then the taxes here are not as crazy as there in the US. So there's huge potential for business. There's a tremendous opportunity for impact as well, because that's very important. There's a huge opportunity for business, but the impact you can create in people's lives is huge. You have no idea. So whoever wants to come and invest in Africa, man, take the chance.
Oh,
That is something you will never regret. It's something
I'll
you can be rich just like that. It you seem just like that because okay, sorry to cut you short.
no, you
Because
go for it.
now presently 1 unit of $1 is 400 and something plus
Wow.
officially. You understand? So if you
Wow.
come with $10,000, you already have 4 million, 4 point something million. It's about 4.8 million at the moment, right? So and 4.8 million now, for example, now if I should have $10,000, that's 4.8 million now. Right now, I can be able to build 2 units of my alternative housing project with it, and with that 2 units, I can sell it. I can sell it for say 20,000.
Wow.
You get what I'm trying to say? Because the fact that it's alternative housing doesn't mean it's less of a quality to traditional building methods. You understand? So the opportunities are huge. Farming is one of it. Farming is okay now. For example, that Ukraine now and Russia are in a war situation now, and the global supply for wheat is affected, and many countries are protesting because of shortage of wheat in Egypt and in Lebanon and all that, right? So if you have the opportunity to come into Nigeria, for example, and go into farming, man, my own state alone, the government has over 50,000 hectares of land, arable land just lying fallow. The government alone, you understand? And it's huge
Wow.
potential for anybody who wants to come into farming can come and take. You just made little paperwork. They'll give you a piece of land. Just go ahead and do your farming. And the picture you're seeing over here now is picture of my restaurant I'm working on. Because after I came back to Nigeria from Cyprus, there was no work to do, so I had to look for ways to earn money. So I traveled to Dubai to find a job, which I did get, but then just a few months into it, the pandemic hit, and then I lost the job. The reason for leaving for Dubai is to raise capital. That was just all I was working on. I just wanted to raise capital to be able to come, and I need to set up a business first and foremost. I would love to be independent. Setting up a business will help me to uh, uh, help me to have like some level of stability. So I left for Dubai to get a job to be able to come and set up a business. When I'm able to set up a business, I'll be able to have my life on track. That removed from this business, I can divert into other aspects of that I've talked about that I want to work on, like the alternative housing project and music and all that. So that is the sports bar I'm working on. And I believe you have pictures of these just renderings of it, but then you have pictures of the actual site. So when I came back from Dubai, I had some some little money on me, so I was able to buy this a little plot of land, and then this is the building you're looking at right now. I started to raise it to this point, but then unable to continue because funding is different. That's me after church one Sunday, with the restaurant right behind me. It's 19 feet by 33 feet. So this is the video of the the foundation after it was laid and all that. So that is it. That is it. So I believe somehow God will find his way to provide, and the restaurant will be completed, and the opportunities it can create for in that local community will be some few jobs. If one small business like this can employ 5 people, it contributes to the economy significantly. So I believe the impact of this will be huge for few people that will be able to work directly on the in this business establishment. So that's what I've worked on that. So that's the building, and that's the way it is. It's been all this while now. So that's just me explaining some of the demarcations and all that.
Tell us what we're seeing as you're walking through.
Oh, okay. On the left, when this demarcation is by your extreme left, is where the kitchen and the store will be, and then this is the kitchen and the store. I need to move the camera to move to the other side. I think I was explaining on the video as well. So yeah, and then there will be a door here into the kitchen, and then the bar. Yes, so you are looking right here now where I'm pointing at will be where the bar will be, and then the sitting area as well on the ground floor. Yeah, the restaurant itself can sit 70 people comfortably at a time, and it's a great location because there are other bars around there where there's a huge traffic there already, so it's a good location for me. And we have like where I'm pointing at now. This is the door to the back of the restaurant, whereby there will be extra. We have extra space at the back, so when everything is completed, we have extra seating at the back as well. That's the restaurant from the back. You're looking at it. I'm just showing you where the extension will get the extension from the back that leads so that we create the extra seating area at the back. Yes, that is it. So this is the entrance to the exit from the kitchen. That's from the back. That's the exit there. And yeah, basically that's it. And there'll be a staircase that goes up to the top part of the restaurant, the first floor of the restaurant, because we have 2 floors, the ground floor and the first floor. So it can sit comfortably 70 people at a time. So I'm still finding ways to see how I can raise money to complete it, because when it's completed, man, by God's grace, that can be able to employ at least 5 people, because we will need a security guard, 2 waiters at least, and we will need maybe we will need 6 people, because we will need two chefs in the kitchen as well. So if that small business can employ 6 people, trust me, it does a lot to that little community there, because there are a lot of people that don't have opportunities, and the opportunities are scarce and all that. And besides, based on what we want to offer in that restaurant, I'll be able to pay way above average what everybody else is paying there. Because what I want to do is I would love to do premium dining. So with that premium dining, I'll be able to pay my workers significantly more than and be more flexible with incentives, so that they're able to have a better work experience with me, because I've seen how it's done, especially in Cyprus, because I've worked at several restaurants and I've seen how it's done. I know how to manage a restaurant by myself, and I know how to treat workers and all that. So I know when the time comes and it's completed, I believe that what we can be able to achieve there will be huge.
And so tell us, so there's how many, what's the population in Plateau?
We're about 4.2 million.
4.2 million.
Yes, in Plateau State completely.
Right.
In the 17 local governments and the capital, we are about 4.2 million now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, there's plenty that we can help support Zara in doing, and this is only the start of many conversations he and I will have around the projects that he has doing. We're going to get some updates, and again, my hope is that he'll be able to share this interview with as many people as possible. I'll be able to share it with as many people that I can. I'd like for you all to share it if you are about helping and supporting our community across seas. And this can definitely be something that if you're interested in going across seas, working across seas, I have, after leaving the country the first time, my mom sent me to Jamaica after graduation from my undergrad. That was kind of my break into, it wasn't far, but that was my break into leaving the country the first time. And then of course, taking the leap when the Spirit said go to China, I jumped that leap and went to China. And so I'm all about the travel, and I'm really looking forward to making this connection. So I know it is about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for this brother. He has dedicated his time to get up to put this interview to make sure that it was done. And I'm very proud of you, Zara.
Thank you so
and looking
much.
forward to more of these interviews. We will
Thank you.
have this dropped on Thursday.
Okay.
That'll probably be Friday morning for you, but we're going to have this dropped in, and you'll have it in your hands to just share and spread the word, man, to whoever investors and whoever else that will be willing to take the time and listen to the interview and just really hear your story. That's what I want people to understand and to connect with is your story. So
Sure.
be well,
Thank
my
you very
brother.
much.
I love you.
And
Go
okay,
ahead.
let me do some little marketing.
Yes, please.
The dashiki he's wearing, I make them. I not directly, but then it's part of what I'm doing to raise money. So if you would love to be support what I'm doing, I just need, okay, if I can get 100 people to buy, we can do for males and females. If I can get 100 people, any design you want, I just send me the design, any design you want. I just need enough people to be able to order this. The African, we call it kaftan here, but you can call it dashiki as well. It's another different name to call it. So if I can get enough people to place an order for just a pair, I'll be able to raise enough money to be able to take the restaurant even further, and hopefully complete it. If I can get 100 people to place an order for this, the restaurant will be completed as soon as possible. So I just hope that, yeah.
I want that to be the H2O platform goal, is to push for 100 people. And let me say, this is, if you watch the episode from last week, the blue one that I had on was also another design that Zara and his friend put together for me. And it was custom made. I actually sent images to them of dashikis that I wanted personally made for myself, and they were able to do that in a very short amount of time. Now, because it is in a different country, it takes a little time to get to you. You can expedite if you want, but the goal is the more people within your community that order, the cheaper it is to deliver. So that's what we're going to aim for, is to get as many people to order from one place. That way we can help get the money raised. And let's try to work on a deadline, maybe by the end of April or the end of this month. We do a check-in to gauge, see how many we are, but we're going to start. I'd like to make that a part of our initiative here at H2O as a global support, is to make the dashiki aim our goal to help build this restaurant for you and really contribute into that. Absolutely.
So any color you want it in, we'll make it. Any color you want, any design you choose, it can be done. And so just
we'll make sure we get measurements, because one of the things us Americans are not really, if they have not left the country, Even some
Yeah,
of us who have our body types are a little bit larger than
that is
most.
true.
So
That
we
is
just need
true.
to make sure we get the converters so that people can order clothes that fit their bodies. But you all, the quality of the clothing is fantastic. The colors, no different from people in Africa.
Mm,
Us African Americans, we love our bright colors. We love the multicolors. That heritage has followed us into this country. And
mm.
so, just to back up what he shared, any color, any design that you like, they can put it together. So,
Yeah.
let you and I work together to get some flyers put together so that we can go
Okay.
ahead and get that initiative moving forward.
I can work on flyers and send it to you.
Okay. Okay.
I can do that. I think that's what I'll do. I'll put I'll add, send me a logo of H2O if you don't mind. So
Yeah,
that I
I
work
can
on
do that.
I'll put it in the flyer and then make a flyer with some designs on it and then send it over to you and then let's see what God does with this.
Absolutely. Let's
Yes.
see what
The
God does with
goal, yeah, the goal, I pray I'm able to get 100 people that can place an order of one of this. If I can get that, if not of that, I'm so grateful. But my prayer is that I'm able to get 100 people who want to place an order for this. It will go tremendously in helping me out set up this restaurant. It will complete it actually, complete it the restaurant, so restaurant, and then from there I can be able to stand solely on my own 2 feet, and that would be
let's make
awesome,
it
man.
our goal
Because
for 100. Let's do 100, if not over 100. Let's
I
make
pray
that
so.
goal, and
I pray so.
we'll worry about the rest later. But right now, we're gonna at minimum we're gonna make our target 100,
Hmm.
and we're not gonna settle for anything less. We're gonna stand on that and believe for that, and
Yes.
we're gonna push forward for that. So let's get the flyers put together. Any final words? Where can people find you? Where can people connect with you? Please provide that information for us.
Okay. On Facebook, you can find me on just type Zarafi. You find me on Facebook at Zarafi. On Facebook, I'm that. You at least you've seen my face. You when you type Zarafi, you will see my picture there. And then on Instagram, it's I am underscore Zarafi. You find me on Instagram. I'm not that good on Twitter because I still don't understand how that app works.
It's all
And
good.
so I think I'm on Twitter as well. Uh Zarafi, just hold on 1 minute. I'll just check it
Okay.
right now.
Okay, no
I'll just check
problem.
it right now
And
because
we'll
it's not
as you're checking, we'll make sure that do me a favor, make sure that you send me all of your handles. I think I have some of them, but just send me all of your handles for the
okay. I'll do
Twitter,
that.
IG, all of those, and we'll add it to the YouTube once it drops, to the podcast YouTube once it drops, and then we'll be
Okay.
sure to add it to the flyers when we start promoting throughout the week. So if you do that
Okay.
for us, then we'll make sure we get your stuff pushed out.
Okay. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I'll send you all the handles and then we'll pick it up from there.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
good, man. Well, get you some rest. Much love to you. Please tell your mother, your brothers,
I
uh,
will.
love to them, peace to them, and look forward
Before
to.
before I go, man, I don't know what to tell you, but you have been one of my biggest blessings. I just want you to know that as much as you've watered my life, God will water your life too.
Thank you.
And as much as the opportunity, or most of the opportunities you've given me, and put up with me and sacrificed for me. Okay, let me tell you one little story before we go. When I was living in Cyprus and I couldn't afford school, right? When I was working, because I needed to help my mom, my parents here. So the little money I saved, I opened a poultry farm called Zara Farms. It's still here behind. So I, I wanted my mom to do some little poultry, so that some little money she gets from selling the eggs, she can be able to sort some little house things and all that. So I was telling myself, because at the end of the, I will send money for feeding for the birds and all that, and then the little money I have, maybe I bought some food for myself, and the little money that's remaining in my pocket, there's one of my very good friends, actually one of my best friends, that died in 2015. So, and I'm in my own hard situation, right? I am more privileged than he was, and his mom is still struggling. His mom is a widow. His father died, his younger brother died, and now he's normal. You understand? So there's a lot of things that happen. So now his mom is like my mom. So anytime the little that's remaining for me back in Cyprus at the end of the month, I sent to my mom, tell her, just give her. Sometimes it will just be 3,000 naira, which now is like maybe $8.
Wow.
So I was sent to her, I was like, Ma, you're like you're like your son. So any more time I could, I just send it to her. Every time she gets a little token from me, she'll tell me, may God bless you. She'll tell me that I can't do anything for you, but may God bless you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that she told me I will tell you now. I'm not able to do anything for you. I can only say, may God bless you. God has seen all that you've done. And also, just as proof that God answers prayer, I'll tell you the proof. Then when I couldn't afford school, I sometimes when crisis happens here and people are displaced, right? People are in IDP camps. Sometimes when I had some little extra and I sent to my friend's mom, the little extra I have, I tell my mom, okay, buy some set of notebooks and take it to the displaced camp and then just share it there and some pen and all that. So when she does, I just told myself that, dear God, this is all I can do now. I'm doing this thing because some people are displaced and they want to go to school, and they are able. These little books can help some of these little pupils get some writing materials for class. I told God, I was like, God, I want to go to school. That is my prayer. And when I was doing that, that was the proof that God answered prayer is when God brought you to me.
Wow.
So me connecting with you was just God answering my prayer that God, I want to go to school too. Because of this little, just look at this little that I've done to be able to help someone go to school.
Yes.
Because the little, if I keep it to myself, I won't be able to do anything with it.
That's right. That's
but
right.
I'll be able to do something for somebody else. So the proof to me, the degree I have in mining today, thanks to you, Ba. Now I'll tell you this. What I'm able to do to get in this life now because of you now, God has seen it. What everything that you have done for me is a seed. And that seed is growing. And that seed, I don't know where it will lead to, but it is a very big tree. Some trees, some plants grow in 3 months, some in 1 year, 2 years. This might be a date palm tree. You understand? So this might take a while, but it will grow. It will grow. And when it grows, one day you will testify to somebody else that what is happening in your life at that moment when it does happen will be because of this seed that I'm telling you now that you've sown in me. So just like my friend's mom told me that God bless you, right?
Yeah.
God bless you. In Hausa they say, Ambari Hanum Allah. So it means I've left it in God's hands. I've left you in God's hands. So you're in God's hands. Because I don't know what to tell you. I can't give you anything that you don't have. You understand? So, man, God just bless you, man. And thank you very much.
Your words, as I've always shared with you, I got 15% left on this phone before it shuts off. But your words are absolutely encouraging, and I have no doubt. And let me say, as your older brother, I have continued to see you grow. And though there are times I know that the struggles are very challenging and they're very difficult, it's important to me that I stand in a masculine energy and I tell you that you have to endure it and you have to make every bit of it count.
No
Every bit
quitting
of it
now.
count. And
No
I
quitting
know
now.
that you are going to crown into everything that you're going to do. I know that. And it's my honor and it's my privilege to be able to see you walk through what you're going through and still continue to persevere because the crown that you have, it's huge. And I know because it's not, you don't make it about yourself, you make it about your people. I know that it's inevitable that your throne and your crown that God has prepared for you on in this time and in this earth, it's huge and it's mighty. And I'm glad to be a part of that. So I'll leave you with those words and thank you for continuing to encourage me. And I want people to know this as well. He doesn't just do this on the camera. He makes an effort to send me a message on a regular to encourage me and to build me up, not just because I've given anything, but because that's just how and who he's been. And that's something I want to say because I know that we're going to be able to look back at this video and we're going to be able to see and we're going to be able to testify of God's goodness. And so
True.
thank you from the bottom of my heart for your
Thank you too.
continued great testimony
Thank you
of
so much
who
too.
I've been in your life. And as you've been that to me as well. So God bless you, and I
Thank you.
love you dearly. And we'll
I love
talk
you too,
soon.
man. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You
Peace.
too.
I go rest now because I have
Okay, go
church.
rest.
Church. Yes.
Okay, go get
Thank
your
you.
good rest so you can have good church. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, God
Bye.
bless you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.